everyone. Welcome to Community Conversations. I am Queen Miss Ebony J, and you're listening to 1230 The Buzz, your talk station on 101.5, 101.1 The Wiz, and 100.3 Cincy's R&B station. This is just, again, another Sunday that we're back highlighting a nonprofit organization that's really making a change in the community. And this change that we're going to talk about this week is more specifically to do with our youth. And so I have in here with me a crew, but we're going to go ahead and spotlight Miss Dorothy Smoot, who is the Chief Impact Officer, the Executive Director, Community Police Partnering Center. How you doing, beautiful?
Hi, how are you?
I'm great. We also have Latoya Hall, who is the program coordinator for the Youth Council. How are you today?
I'm good. Thanks for having us.
Yes, no problem. Now, we also have in here two of the students who actually got a chance to participate in the Urban Champions and Youth Council programs. We have Ty Skites, and we have, is that Tia Skies?
It's Ty Sykes.
Ty Sykes and is that Taj? Say it again, Taj Landrum, right?
Yes, ma'am.
There we go. I don't like to mess up names. My real name is Jafania Wynn, and nobody says it correctly. So I let people cheat with Ebony. So I don't want to mess up your name right here on the radio. So yes, we have in here Taj Landrum and Ty Skies, who are going to share their experience. So first things first, Miss Dorothy, talk to us about just the Urban League itself. What made you all decide to put together a youth program?
Well, the Urban League works in the space around youth employment in general. This program is part of the work that we do at the Community Police Partnering Center, which is addressing issues of safety and community engagement around making our community safe and welcoming to people. And so the Youth Council and the summer employment opportunity and the year-round employment opportunity are all part of what we call problem solving. And the problem was, how do we engage our young people in our communities? How do we reconnect them to the adults that are in our communities? And how do we find a platform for their voice so that all of us, we adults, can hear what the young people have to say and
So how long has this program been around?
The Youth Council and I should answer that question separately. The Youth Council is probably about 4 years old. We've been in the space of youth employment for, oh my goodness. I've been with the organization 12 years, and at least 9 of those 12.
Yes. So yes, we know that the new generation it's really all about them, building them up so that way they can take over and really lead. And so I'm so glad that we have a program that's helping employ them, because we know when they are able to take care of themselves, they're learning about business and how to manage their money. You know, those things help them be and grow to be the kings and queens that they're destined to be. So Ms. Latoya, talk to me. You are the program coordinator for the Youth Council. Talk to me about some of the things that you all do.
So the idea behind our Urban Champions, Youth Council, and our employment, we're just trying to, one, develop leadership skills within the youth, have them, bring out their leadership skills that they may not tap in on a daily basis. We're also trying to provide work readiness and then heavy pieces of civic engagement, being involved in the community, understanding that their voices matter. So, us adults listen to their wants and needs and how they foresee their community going, and we provide solutions. And with both the youth council and our, summer employment, the expected outcome is just for the young adults to learn more about themselves, also be provided a platform for their voices to be heard, and be more aware of different ways that they can advocate and be good citizens for their community.
So does this program happens all year long?
Yes, ma'am, it does. So the idea behind it is, yes, the employment piece, it's an 8-week process. But we also would like to retain some of the kids that, are employed to help with our youth councils, build up our youth councils in each community. The goal is to have standing youth councils for all communities within the city. So, Westwood, Price Hill, Bond Hill, Roseline, just to name a few. Build those communities up and listen to the kids, to the different problems and things that they're aware of, and us adults assist them with problem solving through and come up with a solution.
What has it been like, Ms. Dorothy, watching this program develop and seeing the youth lead?
It's absolutely amazing. I think that oftentimes as adults, we always want to take control and have them do it our way. But over the last 4 years, I've watched the young people plan our annual youth summit. Last 3 years, I've watched them plan our annual youth summit, from invitation to implementation, to guests, to panels, to what kind of giveaway gifts they're going to be. They do everything that an event planner would have to do to have our youth council's annual youth summit. And it's absolutely amazing because they're so talented and think of things that, I would never think to do. And they are able to attract other young people. So I think it's awesome.
So they put the whole thing together for the youth summit?
Yes, ma'am, beginning to end. They have a few ground rules, like topic for the year, but what they do with that topic is definitely left up to them. We, and I can't remember all the topics. I remember the first one because I worked with them around that one. And then Latoya has worked with them for the last is in her second year. The first one was around community, youth and police relationships, where they learned about some of the rules and regulations of the city for young people, like curfew, et cetera. We talked about all of those things. They gave us some really good feedback that was actually given to the chief of police, who incorporated, used that, incorporated that in some of the work that he was doing. And then Latoya's topic last year, I forgot already, Latoya, so you're gonna have to fill in that one, but they work their topics after they develop their tagline.
So yes, last year we formed a youth summit. It was titled Stronger Together, with everything, involving police brutality, a lot of, young adults passing away at the hands of the police. We dived into that topic. We had the chief police on there. The kids formulated their own questions. The panel that they wanted, we adults, we just made sure that it was able to take place. So they told us who they wanted on the panel, and it was from their perspective. We're trying to, one, build the relationships between the youth and the police, so it's not so aggressive every time. And a couple of ideas that came about of that is police not coming to the communities just to police the communities, actually to get to know the kids and the parents that live in the communities. So that was a very intriguing topic, not only for the young adults that were involved, but it also allowed them to display other talents that they had. So we had, spoken words, and a couple of the youth, they were able to, write a rap and record it in junction of our whole youth summit.
That is amazing. So Tia, were you a part of this as well?
Yes, ma'am.
What was that like?
Being with the Urban League Youth Council in general is like real fun because it's like you get to do a lot of things. They teach us a lot of stuff. Basically, they taught me how to make like a career path, like what I want to do when I get older, what I need in order for me to get to that point. Then with like the Stronger Together event, it was fun putting it together because it's a lot of people you work with, like a part of that council you don't know. So it's like you get the bond and see like how they work within a group and like other people.
Yes. Okay, so hold on. Did Taj be a part of Taj? Were you a part of this too?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh my goodness. So, okay, you got to tell me, what was it like for you putting this together?
Okay, so back like back towards April when like the pandemic like first started, it was like kind of just like sitting at home, bored, not doing nothing, like confusion too. And then like once Latoya invited me to participate in the urban league, it was kind of something to take away like the pandemic. So joining, we was able to be able to develop like a lot of leadership skills, stuff like that, talk on strong topics such as like police brutality, community stuff going on in the community. So able to come together like 2 hours a day, a couple days a week. It was able to build, like Ty said, friendships with people that we don't know, don't see typically, and actually building like to form like the Stronger Together event. It was nice to be able to talk to actual people in the community that's like pouring and be able to vocalize like our voices to the point where we see like it feels like we actually important, we're doing something for the community.
This is 1230 The Buzz, your talk station on 101.5, 101.1 The Wiz, and 100.3 Cincy's R&B station. I am Queen Miss Ebony J here talking with Dorothy Smoot. I'm talking with Latoya Hall, Taya Skypes, and I'm talking to Taj. And we are talking about the Urban League, the great things that they're doing over at Southern Western Ohio. The community police partnering center is really giving the youth a voice. The Urban Champions Youth Employment Program is giving them an opportunity to really be young leaders. And I love the fact that they're not just planning and putting it together, but like they're a part of the whole entire thing from beginning to end. And so, what was it like talking to the police and like asking them questions?
Well, it was kind of like it was a first, of course, for me because I don't typically go to the police house and just walk in. And so it was kind of like nervous, kind of, but being able to hear him like give feedback on like what we were saying too was kind of made me seem like what I was saying share some importance, and people be able to ask some questions, stuff like that, so, actually get responses on how they're going to do stuff to change. Hopefully like they're actually taking that and making actions towards it. So it felt like that our voices would actually be able to get put on this platform where they would listen and be able to answer what we had to say.
Do you feel like your perspective changed at all through the conversation that you had, getting a chance to hear things from their side?
Of course, because from our perspective, we see them as like we're not being heard. We're not, they're just being so brutal in a way because police brutality. But being able to hear what they're saying, how like they gotta do certain stuff for stuff to get to get actually put into so it made me feel like I need to be more considerate towards like their jobs and what they have to do. So of course my perspective changed.
Tia, what was it like putting the question, coming up with the questions? Like, did you all talk about it as a group, or did you all just write down your questions and then y'all pick the best ones?
Basically, like with making the questions, I was a part of the panel, like asking them the questions, and like me and my group, we basically put together like a main idea, like what do we want to ask, and like how we're gonna ask it and stuff like that. It was never one-sided.
Yes. And I got to ask you the same thing I asked him. Did your perspective about cops change at all?
Yes, ma'am, it did. It's just like it's different hearing them talk, like because the perspective we see is like them behind, like and they were doing this, that in the streets and stuff. But it's like behind that uniform, it's basically like what one of the police officers said. It's like they look at us like as one of their kids and stuff like that. They want us to they want to protect us just the way they protect their kids. And it's like we felt like more protected when they said that, because it's like you don't get that perspective when they're in their uniform.
Hey, Latoya, I got to ask you this because I love that we're doing this with the youth, but what about their parents? How involved are their parents in knowing how this works out?
I'm glad you asked that. A lot of the times, when we conduct last year, when we did the employment process, it was via Zoom. A lot of the parents were on with their kids for the 2 hours, and the feedback from the parents, via email was they appreciate Urban League has put together, and it provided their kids more of a confidence booster. They wanted to know more about the program and how they're able to make sure that their kids stay afloat and then be active advocates for, not only themselves, but their community as well.
Ebony?
Yes, ma'am.
One of the things that they haven't shared with you is that for their youth summit, the parents tuned in. We had a good number of parents that actually tuned in to the summit last year, so that they were a part of what was going on. And one of the things that's always encouraged is those parents to be part of what they complete.
Right.
So when they had their Black History program this year, the parents were invited to the Black History program and were able to be part of it. So they actually actively engage in what they're doing.
Yes, that's what I like to hear. It's a lot going on in our communities, but the parents got to be right there. That's the importance. They got to be right there and involved, because, hey, we're changing the baby's mindsets. We can change the parents' mindsets as well, right?
Right. One at a time. All it takes is, it's a trickle down effect. A couple parents hop on board and their kids hop on board, and before you know it, we have a Army United standing behind our kids.
Now, I want to know, Ms. Dorothy, how does the Urban League fund all this?
Well, as a nonprofit, we write grants.
Okay.
We solicit donations from corporations and individuals and other organizations. We partner with organizations to leverage our resources together to make sure that our programs are able to happen. So we are currently funded by the city of Cincinnati for this program. We also receive funding from the United Way. We also receive funding from Everytown, which is an organization that supports victims of violence.
Okay. Yes. So for people that's listening at home and they're like, oh my goodness, this is truly amazing, I want to support, can you tell them how they can make a donation and be a part?
Yes. So donations have to go through our development department, but the contact person is Latoya Hall to get them there. Okay. So Latoya, they would contact Latoya at her email address, which is?
It's Hall, HALL at ulgso.org.
They would contact her, and she would set up for our development department to reach out to them to provide them with the paperwork that they would need. We do give donation letters, so it's a tax deduction. And if they're interested in supporting this program during the summer months, we only have enough funding with this program for up to 35 young people. If anyone would like to add to that group, it costs us about $2,000 per young person for them to work through the course of the summer.
Now, if a parent is listening and they want to get their child involved in the program for the summer or for throughout the year, what is the what makes you eligible?
So anyone that's interested in joining one, our youth employment or our youth council, just have to live within city limits, meaning your police has to be Cincinnati police. And then you also can just shoot me an email. Again, my email address is lhall, Hall, @ulgso.org. Expressing your interest. I'll send the application and the outline of how the 8 weeks are going to be outlined.
I love how you all are bridging that gap between the youth and the police. I love the work that you all are doing, just making sure that they're able to grow and be great leaders. So keep doing great work. Again, can you share with them the website to go on so they can learn more about what you all do, and your email again, LaToya, for someone who may want to get the information?
Yes, ma'am. Again, the email for me, it's Hall, Hall, @lugso.org. Urban League's social media for Facebook, it's Urban League of Greater Southwest Ohio. You can go to that Facebook, like the page, get all the updates, as well as our Police Partnering Center, like that page and get all the updates as well.
And oh, we forgot to say when the application deadline, because that's this week, that will be the 30th, right?
Yes, April the 30th will be the application deadline. Anything submitted afterwards, it'll just go in a waiting pile.
Perfect.
The first 35 applicants that complete the application in its entirety with the paperwork, we're good.
Thank you all for coming on. I appreciate you.
Thanks for having us.
This is 1230 The Buzz, your talk station on 101.5, 101.1 The Wiz, and 100.3 Cincy's R&B station. If you would like to learn more, make sure you log on to our website so that way you can get the information. I'll see you back here next week on Community Conversations.